So it looks like iOS 17.7 is probably going to be one of the last versions of iOS 17. And here's the thing, and here's the problem I kind of have with Apple sometimes, is that they will release a brand new version of a software twice in a row. So the other day they went through, when iOS 18 officially came out last week, they also dropped iOS 17.7. Now, there is a lot of benefit of doing this. When you actually go through and, Apple releases a new software, they will fix bugs, they will do a lot of those things. But the problem is that they will also go ahead and confuse a lot of people, but they'll also go ahead and update another version of software like iOS 18, and they're dropping two versions of software at the same time, when, in my opinion, in reality, the best thing they could have done was to drop iOS 17.7 maybe a day or two earlier, or that Friday if they were going to drop iOS 18 on Monday, and then if there were more issues, if there were things they still needed to fix, then drop like iOS 17.7.1 on that Monday, and then drop iOS 18 as well. That way you can have a secure, pretty much bug-free version of software on iOS 17.7.1. And if they want to, they can install iOS 18, iOS 18 as well. The problem that we kind of had was that they dropped those two new versions of software at the same exact time, and it confused a lot of people because they didn't know whether they should have upgraded to iOS 18 or stayed with iOS 17.7. So that was kind of one situation that we kind of ran into. On top of that, from scouring Reddit, the subreddit iOS, I was able to kind of see that there are still some issues that some people are having within iOS 17.7. And the big thing here is that still a lot of storage is taken up within their base models, versions of softwares. So their system data, their OS data, all that is still, taken up with a bunch of storage inside of it. And with phones that have like 64 gigabytes of storage, they're already running out of storage all over the place. And that is another situation where Apple could go through and kind of give us a little bit more tweaking ability, because unless you have like a 128 gigabyte iPhone, if these updates are like 6 or 7 gigabytes, that's going to be another very big issue some people are going to run into, because they're not going to have enough storage to install iOS 18. But that's kind of a side story. There were still some issues within iOS 17 Apple still hasn't fixed yet. There were things like the alarm issues, those types of things that Apple hasn't fixed yet, the storage issues that we talked about earlier. There are still a couple of things here that Apple still needs to fix on iOS 17, and I'm hoping by 17.7.1 Apple does address and fix these things, and maybe by iOS 18.0.4 or something like that, they'll also fix these things on iOS 18 as well. So those are kind of just a few things right there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.